or you just need time to like go back and reflect and get clearer answers, absolutely, you can see it on our website at, you'll see it here, algonquincollege.com/orientation. So that will be posted tomorrow as well. So just to break down the agenda today, and just so you know what session you're in, you're achieving academic success today. So we're really transferring our, transitioning you in from whether it was the working world, high school, you know, courses online, whatever it may be. What does that look like as you transfer your skill set from your previous experience to now to Algonquin College? So we have industry experts here that are representing their departments, which is awesome. And we're going to cover everything. I mean, I won't go through the list. You can see it right here, but from course materials to student support services to cooperative education, etc. And each panel member will introduce themselves as their presentation starts, so you can get a sense of who they are. Jot down their name in case you have any further questions. You can always email them outside of this presentation as well. We're giving you that resource, that like go-to person from this presentation. So with further ado, I am going to be the PowerPoint master. So panel members, you just tell me when you'd like me to switch to the next slide, and I will hand it over to our first speaker, and we'll go from there. So the first up is Course Material Services, and Amanda.
Hello everyone, my name is Amanda. So I'm going to be speaking a bit about Course Material Services, our team, and what we do and how we can help you guys achieve academic success this spring semester. So go to the next slide, please. All right, so how can the Course Material Services team help you achieve academic success? So first and foremost, we're here to support all of our students, new, coming back from different things, as my colleague said, coming from high school, coming from the workforce. We're here to support you all, no matter where you come from. So we do this by providing a diverse selection of materials. So that may be textbooks, manuals, we have workbooks, flashcards, different reference materials, and these are all provided in different formats as well. So if you prefer to do it online, just by e-text, or if you want an actual print to study from, a print book, we have used options. We have different options for all of you. That being said, ensuring all course materials are easily accessible. So maybe you find it easier to just access it through online, or maybe you find it easier to just kind of get it sent to you. We have all those options for you. And representatives such as myself, we have a team of about 5 other people that are here to kind of just answer any questions or concerns you may have about your course materials, how to access them. If I don't answer any of your questions throughout my presentation, feel free to message us. We have an email, you can phone us, whatever you prefer. So I'll continue and give you a lowdown of what we're all about. Next slide, please. So the most important question, how to access your course materials. So our team has developed a much easier way to determine what course materials you need, and this is through something called book lists. So you can log into your book list using your Algonquin College username and your password. So this is basically going to generate a customized list of what course materials you need, which ones are required. Maybe your professor has suggested materials for you. So you simply log into this and it'll develop a list of all the books that you need. If you go to the next slide, if you have your phones out right now, you can easily just scan this QR code and it'll take you directly to book list. If you want to take a minute or two to do that. Or you can go, if it's not working, the campusstore.ca/booklist. And here you can log in using your Algonquin username and password, as I said before. And then that'll generate a list and you can view and purchase all of your course materials from there. I believe we're providing this slide, so if you want to look at the QR code after, you can easily do that as well. Next slide. So once you're logged into Booklist, you'll be able to view and purchase your required textbooks. So you will have the option, as I said before, to choose which format you prefer. Maybe it's digital or print. So for print, for the spring term, 2020 term, because of our store, it's being closed right now due to what's happening, all orders will ship for free within Canada and the US. Unfortunately, we can't offer that free service to international. But if you're within Canada or in the US, we have free shipping. You just have to put in your home address and we'll be able to deliver those print texts right to your door. If you prefer digital, you can download it right away. That might be more easily accessible for you. And we have a list of steps for how to download your digital resources at algonquincollege.com/course materials/students. And you can just check out that link and it'll list all the steps for how to download all of your digital resources. Next slide, please. So now, because of our store closure, we do have different reference materials available online. So in order, you can also order, for example, reference charts, study charts, flashcards, dictionaries. They may not necessarily be required for your course, but maybe it's just a better study aid to kind of achieve that academic success that we're talking about. So some people, for example, language learning, there's lots of different dictionaries. You have French to English, English to Spanish if you're learning Spanish, for example. If you're in nursing, we have a ton of different reference materials for that as well. For example, drug references. We have cool coloring books if you're learning about human anatomy and whatnot. So we have a lot of different options in addition to textbooks that are required and manuals and whatnot. We have all these diverse selection of reference materials. So you can find this on our website, as I said before, bookstore.algonquincollege.com /books/reference or /study charts. Next slide, please. So that's pretty much it for our team. We're always here to help. So if you need assistance with your course materials, you can contact us at cms@algonquincollege.com. Again, my name is Amanda, and I have many other team members who are here to help. If you have more specific questions to do with online ordering, for example, and shipping, you can contact campusstore@algonquincollege.com as well. Thank you, and good luck with your studies, everyone.
Thanks so much. So we're going to move on to the next one, and I'll just flip this slide. That's awesome. And achieving academic success, and it's going to be with Alicia George. Over to you, Alicia.
Thank you, Sophia. Next slide. Hi, everyone. My name is Alicia George, and I am one of your several student success specialists here at Algonquin College. Welcome to Ottawa for those of you who are abroad, and for those of you who are in Ottawa, welcome as well too. We're delighted to have you here studying with us remotely this spring summer term. As a student success specialist, we have many goals to help you support yourself throughout your studies here at the college. I would like you guys to all note that within your own faculties, you all have many student success specialists that are here to help you throughout your journey. Essentially, our goal is to provide students with support and resources to achieve your goals. Our aim is to improve retention and graduation and develop strategies and identify best practices to foster student success of all college students. The workload and expectations for students at the college level are quite different than high school or any other post-secondary studies that you may have had in your home countries or here in Canada. Your student success team can help you ensure you have the support and resources you need to stay on track and succeed throughout your entire program. Next slide, Sophia. So how to find your student success? As I mentioned previously, every program has a student success specialist. If you go to the Algonquin College website and you do a search for student success specialist, it'll actually bring you to a web page that will have a drop-down menu by campus. So if you're studying here at the Ottawa campus, you will select Ottawa, and then it'll prompt you to select a program choice. And coincidentally enough, my program and my photo and my image is here as well too. So if you are one of my students studying in my programs, it'll provide you with my contact details and my emails. I am available for you Monday to Friday. The student success specialists are here to support you. We're providing students with Zoom meetings. You can connect with us by email. And essentially, our goal is to help you navigate this environment while you're studying here at the college, answer general questions about services and supports that can help you throughout your studies, refer you to college resources and supports that can help you achieve academic success. It's also to help you understand college policy and registration should you have questions and inquiries about that. And it's to also help you ultimately overcome any challenge that you might be experiencing throughout your studies. So as I've mentioned before, every faculty has a student success specialist. You will most likely be hearing from us within the next week through your Brightspace. So please continue to monitor your Brightspace accounts for emails and posts with information about important services and supports that are available to you while you're studying here at the college. Next slide, Sophia. So again, I really want to stress the fact that while you're studying here, the college is here to support you in any way that we possibly can. Please reach out to us, set up an appointment, send us an email, and we'll definitely try to do the best we can to help you or refer you to the support services that are support services that are available to you here on campus. So do not be afraid to reach out to us. Another tip, don't be afraid to reach out to your teachers as well too. They are definitely here to support you during your studies here at the college. We're also here to provide you with options for success. So if you have a question about services that are available on campus, some services that might be available off campus, information about your course, we're definitely here to help you maneuver and get those answers to the questions that you have. And our ultimate goal, guys, is to help you graduate. That's what we're all here for. Every panelist on this webinar is ultimately here to help you graduate. So I look forward to hearing from you. And if you have questions, feel free to post them in the chat, or you will be expecting an email from me and other student success specialists within the next few days. Thank you so much.
Excellent, thanks, Alicia. Okay, so our next presentation is for turning prior experience into course credit at Algonquin College, and Renee and Tessa, if you want to take over.
Thanks, Sophia. Next slide, please. So today, Tessa and I are going to talk to you about the difference between credit transfer and PLAR. So credit transfer is also called exemptions, and it's for students who have taken previous courses at another post-secondary institution, both within Canada and internationally. There's a couple of different ways that you can transfer your courses. You can apply for a core course, that's a mandatory course in your program of study, or you can apply for a Gen Ed. There's a few different themes for the Gen Eds, and not all of the themes are eligible for every program, so just check your program's webpage before applying. But one thing to note with the electives is that you want your elective course to match the theme. So for example, if you've taken a Greek mythology course in your previous studies, you're not necessarily looking for that exemption to count as or count towards another Greek mythology course. You're looking for it to count within the social and cultural understanding theme. So applying it towards theme 3 and not necessarily for the exact same course. Next slide, please. To be eligible for credit transfer, you have to have completed at least one course within a recognized post-secondary institution within the last 5 years, and you have to have passed your class with a minimum grade of C or 63%. To apply for an exemption, you do it through your Access account. The online form will ask you for a PDF copy of your course outline or your syllabus, as well as your official transcripts from your previous institution. There's a fee of $10 per course up to $50. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Renee. So that's credit transfer, and then the next service that we'll look at is PLAR, which stands for Prior Learning Assessment and Recognition. So this service allows you to have your life experience recognized as opposed to credit transfer, which is for academic. And when we say life experience, we're really just talking about really anything other than formalized post-secondary study. So the majority of PLARs that I see are based on work experience, but you could also use your work training, volunteer work, self-study, travel experience, work that you've done in the community, lots of different things there. One important thing though that I just want to flag is that one thing that you cannot base your PLAR on is your high school experience. But again, almost everything else could be considered experience that is eligible for PLAR. Next slide, please. So in terms of how PLAR would work is that if a course covers material that you already know because of your work or your life experience, you would apply for a PLAR and you would request an assessment. And the terminology that we use there is challenging a course. It's called challenging a course. The assessment that you write, it could be a couple of different things. It might be an exam. You might have to put together a portfolio or have an interview with a subject matter expert or complete some kind of an assignment. The assessment methodology is always decided on by the academic area. So it could be any of those things. The fee associated with PLAR does depend a little bit on the assessment methodology. So for this year, it's $90.70. PLARs currently are graded in the same way that the course is regularly delivered, which means it's going to show up in your transcript exactly the same way as if you've taken the course, which also means that it can impact your GPA. So that's just something to be aware of. And then finally, we strongly recommend that you apply early. So if you're looking at doing a PLAR for a course that be taking in our 2020 spring semester. I would very strongly encourage you to kind of get the ball rolling on your PLAR in the next 3 weeks or so. Next slide, please. We just wanted to run through really quickly the difference between credit transfer and PLAR because they are services that are sort of different sides of the same coin. So just to recap, credit transfer or exemptions are for when you've had previous academic experience. Your competency would be determined through your transcript in conjunction with a course outline from the course that you took previously. It's going to show up in your transcript as an an assessment, and your grade is going to be transcribed the same way as it would be for the class, so A to F letter grades or pass fails. Next slide, please.
We just wanted to shamelessly plug our drop-in session. So if anyone had any further questions or any specific questions about PLAR and credit transfer that they thought was maybe a little too specific for the end of today's presentation, please join us for our drop-in right after this at 3:30.
Jansen, he's the Senior Vice President of Academics, to join us just to give a couple words of welcome and advice that he may have to our new learners.
Well, and good afternoon, folks. First, let me apologize for not turning my video on. I live out in the country and my internet is of the variety that when I turn the video on, you can't hear my voice. So I figured maybe my voice would be more appropriate in this setting. And you know, take a breath, catch your breath. A lot of information has come at you quickly. And it's all really, really good information. The good news is it'll all be available for you to review again later. So if you feel like you heard something important but you missed it, it's available in lots of different venues and more to come. But really, I'm here simply to welcome you and recognize this is certainly not the way we intended to welcome you. I think you're getting the message that there's a lot of people that are deeply passionate about helping you succeed at Algonquin College. We just rather expected to be able to do that face to face. So welcome to this new pandemic reality, but recognize that that simply means that everybody is working that much harder to help you succeed. We recognize it's different. We recognize it may not be your first preference to have all of your courses delivered remotely at this point in time. But the academic area has been working very hard to ensure that you are still getting an amazing learning experience. And the message that the faculty are really here to help, I could not emphasize that more. Even though you may not be in the same position that they're in, the same place that they're in, they still want to help. Which gets me to a couple of the pieces of advice that I might have for you. And that really is, education is more than what you know. Education isn't simply learning a whole bunch of facts. What's really probably more important is learning how to ask questions. It's to figure out what you don't know and learn how to ask questions. A little bit about me, my background. I'm a scientist. I'm a chemist by training and spent more years than I care to admit to actually doing science, doing research, publishing papers, doing all kinds of really cool sciencey things. I'm a science nerd. Those things are really cool to me. Before I came here, and I do know that it's really the questions that you ask, followed by the tenacity to get answers. That's what education is. And so you have a role to play in this. While there's all kinds of people that are going to be bending over backwards to try to help you succeed, you need to be actively engaged. You need to be pushing. You need to be asking questions, not just of the faculty, but of the material that you're trying to learn, and frankly, of yourself. You're going to be, our job is not necessarily to make this easy for you. As a matter of fact, sometimes our job is to make it hard for you, to push you beyond your comfort zone, to get you to do things that you didn't necessarily think you could do before. but that's the measure of success in the end, when you graduate. And hopefully when you get to walk across the stage when you graduate, that sense of pride in what you have accomplished is going to be so much greater when you've had to struggle to get there. And really, when you finish your program, you are really going to be ready to step into that incredible job, that career that you're coming to us to help prepare for. Amazing programs, amazing people. And I think the real message that I'm trying to give you is that education is an active endeavor. It's not passive. You cannot sit back and simply listen and expect to succeed here. Work hard. Do not be afraid to ask questions of yourself, of your faculty, of your classmates, of anybody in the college, because that's what we're here for. The phrase that we use is, we are here to help. And all of us mean it from the bottoms of our heart. That's why we're at this institution. Today is one of those truly special days in the life of an academic. To welcome a new group of students to their programs is what it's all about. And I am thrilled to be part of this welcome ceremony for you. So thank you. Please make sure that you try to pay attention to the rest of the panelists. Ask them questions at the end. Here's your chance to practice the advice I give. Question and answer session at the end. And I will turn you back over. Thank you. Welcome.
Thanks so much, Chris. It's hard to top that. I was going to do a follow-up, and I don't think I can. But know that I'm actually an alumni of the college, and it is so proud to see alumni in the community. And it's true. There's something about walking across that stage and knowing that you've been pushed beyond your limits and then active in your industry and being very successful. So thanks, Chris, for that. So we will now turn it on. We're going to continue with cooperative education, and Janice is going to give us some insight on that. Janice, over to you.
Oh, sorry. Next slide. Okay, great. So the first slide that we're showing right here is just a comparison of different types of work integrated learning that there are. People tend to call all work integrated learning co-op, but there is a bit of a difference. At Algonquin, you will find programs that have clinical placements and field placements, and then there are also programs with co-op. So as you can see, they are a little bit different. The co-op is highlighted in green. And so actually we'll go on to the next slide because I would like to highlight what co-op really is, just to give you sort of an idea. So not every program does have a co-op option. Hopefully yours does, because it is a really great thing. So what co-op is exactly is, first of all, it's a full-time job. It must be a paid job. It is usually 4 months in length, so 1 semester, but sometimes you can be in a program where you would have back-to-back terms, so you may be out working longer. And the position that you would get in co-op should be related to your program. So some of the skills that you're learning in school, you would be applying in the workplace. Next slide. Okay, so 3 facts about co-op. I think these ones are great, actually. So co-op, these are actual stats too, increases your learning. So basically it's, what you're learning in school, you're applying it in the workplace, and then what you were learning in the workplace, you're going back to your classes, and then you're applying that because you've learned on the job. Co-op students are more employable. That is a fact. So when you graduate with your credential, if you've been in co-op, you've likely worked at least 1, if not 2, or even 3 co-op terms. That means you already have quite a few jobs on your resume, and so you have experience within your field. Long-term money. Within the first 2 years of graduation, people that have done co-op within their education are estimated to earn $2,000 to $8,000 more than students who did not complete a co-op. So that's kind of a bonus. Next slide. Okay, So when you're in co-op, there are 3 phases that you go through. So usually you start the co-op process 8 months prior to actually going out to work. So the first 4 months, you're doing a prep term, and that's where our staff are getting you ready to get your resume together, your cover letter, sort of teaching you how to be in a professional environment. There are a number of different modules of things that you can learn. Next is a job search term, and so that's when you're actively looking for positions on our database and outside of our database. So that's where you're going to be applying for jobs, and you're going to be interviewing and hopefully getting a job offer. And the next phase is, of course, the work term. And so the work term is when you're actually going out and working with a company, and you're earning money and you're continuing with that. And you're also doing a few assignments along the way that are related to your work term. Okay, next slide. Are you an international student? Okay, so first things first, if you're an international student, you will need to get a co-op work permit. That is absolutely a necessity, and it's something that if you're thinking about doing co-op, you would want to do very quickly. Definitely get into that early, like I'm gonna say 8 months to a year in advance. We do recommend that if you're coming internationally, it's a good idea to get a part-time job or do some volunteer work. There's lots of volunteer opportunities on campus. It really looks good in your resume, and it's something that does tend to impress employers. Add languages to your resume. Definitely, it really stands out on your resume. People love it. Be proud of where you came from. Well, I think that goes without saying. And okay, yes. Oh, here's a good one. You can work for the government if you're an international student. Absolutely, 100%. We do have students that are successful in getting government jobs, even if they are not born in Canada. Next slide. Co-op eligibility. Okay, some programs you can apply directly through OCAS. So if you've done so, that's great. You're in. A 2.7 GPA is required for you to stay in co-op. Complete all courses by the time you work. Yes, okay, and so you have to complete all of your courses by the time you go to your work term, not for your entire program, because usually co-op is scheduled in between courses. You don't usually finish with a co-op semester. And you have to remain in good standing with the college, of course, and you have to be a good college ambassador. That means go out and impress your employer. All right, next slide. Oh, thank you. That's it. One thing I quickly want to tell you, though, is that if you really want to get a taste of what co-op's all about, go to our website. We have some testimonials of people that are out in the workplace, and they're fabulous videos. You'll get so excited.
Thanks so much, Janice. And now I'm going to turn it over to Martha. She is the manager in student engagement and Aspire. Martha, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be with you all this afternoon. You're getting a lot of information, and you're going to get more information here in this section. What I want to tell you is, if you take anything away from what you've heard today or are about to hear, is if there is something that is getting in your way and challenging you to succeed while you're at Algonquin College, there is likely a person and a service or a support that can answer that for you. So please ask for help. Next slide, please, Sophia. So I'm going to talk to you about some of the student support services that we have that you can access. And on just a few, I'm going to go into in a little more depth. So the AC Hub is all things student engagement. And there is such a body of research out there that tells us that students who really get involved in their college community do better overall academically and later on when they're in the job market. So get involved while you're at Algonquin College. We have AC Always Connected. You're a unique cohort that are going to be online, but we have stuff for you. Employment services. This is a service you can access at what's called our Welcome Center. And you can have specialists look at your resume, your cover letter, and do some practice interviewing with you. Health services is a complete suite of health services. If you're in a program that requires you to have a stretch of immunizations and tests, health services can do that for you. Our library is brand new. It's beautiful. It's in our new building. And also every aspect of our library is available to you virtually as well. The Mammoth Oswin Center is our Center for Indigenous Learners, and those learners invite all students to come and participate in the events that they have. So please check it out. Office of the Ombudsman. The Ombudsman is a neutral body that is there for you if you need something to be resolved between you and your professors or you and the college. That is an office that you can turn to. It's usually not the first step that you should take when you're trying to resolve things, but it is a service that is there for you. Peer tutoring. Peer tutoring is something that's available to you. Many programs support the cost of it. However, the cost is under $10 for an hour of tutoring in any subject that you're struggling with. And you can access those tutors through the Student Learning Center. Peer tutoring is a match, one-to-one match, and it'll be a student who has taken that course prior to you taking it and achieved a B+ or better in that course. So they know this stuff, they know the material, and they can help you out. Project Lighthouse is a very specialized program that we have at Algonquin College. It's all things harm reduction. So if you have something that you feel is getting in your way, substance use, sexual assault prevention, anything like that that you think that you could use some support on, Project Lighthouse is there for you. Next slide, please, Sophia. So the Center for Accessible Learning, if you are somebody who prior in your education needed educations for your learning assessments, your learning achievements, and you have had some kind of diagnosis that says that you require some accommodations, our Center for Accessible Learning is there for you. The first thing that you'll do to access this service is call the Welcome Center. And the first appointment will be with a learning strategist who will look at an individualized learning plan for you that has the accommodations that you need. My best advice for you, if you are somebody who's going to use our Center for Accessible Learning, is sooner rather than later. So call them as soon as possible if you're somebody who's going to need some accommodations. Next slide, please, Sophia. Counseling services. Very important service at the college. It has 3 streams. The first being career clarity. If you're somebody who's in a course and suddenly discovers this is not for me, this is not what I thought it is, career counseling services is there for you. The second stream is any kind of personal challenges that you're going through. So it's personal counseling. And the third is mental health, addictions, counselors who specialize clinically in any of those 3 areas certainly can help you out. They also have groups that they run and all kinds of events that you can get involved in. Next slide, please. And Aspire AC, this program is very close to my heart. Aspire AC is a program for any student who needs some extra help to be motivated to get to college, stay at college, be ready at college, graduate, and find employment in their chosen field. If you are somebody who identifies in one of the 14 diversity groups in the Human Rights Code, this is the program that can support you. So please don't hesitate to register with us on our website, aspireac.com. And also you can access us through the Welcome Center as well. Next slide. Thank you. Very, very happy welcome to all of you, even in this unique time of COVID.
Thank you, Martha. So I see we have some questions. Don't worry, we're going to get to them. We have one more presentation, and then we will open up the floor to questions. And I'd then like to turn it over to Amber for the Student Learning Center.
Great, thanks so much, Sophia. So hi, everyone. My name is Amber Schuler-Toll. I'm the coordinator of the Student Learning Center, which is an area that provides a lot of different services and a lot of different supports for students. And so we'll kind of go through some of the main things that we can do to support you as part of your program. One of the things that we offer through the Student Learning Center is something called peer tutoring. I know Martha mentioned it briefly before. So just to give a little bit more information, peer tutoring is one-on-one support for students from a student who has already completed a course in your program and has done very well. So it's designed to help students if you're struggling in a very specific course. You can get instruction, a little bit of support and guidance from a student who's done well. Peer tutoring does cost money. It costs $8 an hour to access a peer tutor. However, many departments can sponsor students. So if you are registered with something like AC Aspire, sometimes the Center for Accessible Learning might be able to sponsor students. The International Education Center can sometimes sponsor students. So there is a way potentially to get that $8 an hour waived, and you can access possibly that for free. That's okay, we can move on to the next slide. One of the other options that we have at the Student Learning Center is our workshops. And so there are a variety of workshops that we are offering online this semester. These workshops can vary from different topics around things like research or how to write your paper or avoiding plagiarism, but they also are workshops around things like time management, managing your stress for exams, how to study properly, so a wide range of workshops. There's usually at least about one workshop a week, if not more. And you can find the schedule for all of the workshops for this upcoming term on our website at algonquincollege.com/SLC. There's a big online workshop session. I'll just sort of note that algonquincollege.com SLC Student Learning Center is sort of the one-stop shop, and then depending on what you're looking for. So that's where you'd go if you were looking for peer tutoring or something like our online workshops are offered there. And it can also bring you to a lot of the other online resources that we're going to talk about. So Sophia, can we go to next slide, please? So the Student Learning Center is also partnered closely with the library, and this is where we will have more additional online support. So the library actually has an online chat that you can access, as well as booking one-on-one sessions with a librarian. And this can help you if you have to do research for your program or if you're looking for any particular information. They can help you navigate the massive, massive, massive online system and database that they have. There are hundreds of thousands of online books, resources, journal entries, articles, so it can be a lot to sort through and find. So this is what they're there to help you find exactly what you're searching for that you need for your paper. And if you want to flip to the next slide, Sophia. Just sort of an idea of all of the amounts of things. I know that normally when people think of the library, they think of our big space, but there's books, but we actually have more online resources than we do books. So actual physical books. There are 240,000 ebooks available online. We've got everything from LinkedIn Learning to tutorials to our subject guide. So we also have information for general subjects. So things like math, writing, English as a second language, different sciences. You can click onto the Student Learning Center and we can take you to the wide plethora of subject guides and support that we have there as well. So all of that through algonquincollege.com/SLC. And that's it for us, but please reach out to us if you have any questions about the Student Learning Center or how we can support you.
Thank you so much, Amber. That's great. So again, lots of information, but the beauty of this webinar is that you see all of our faces. So when we're back on campus as well, you will have some familiar faces in the hallway. And you'll know exactly who to talk to. Write down our name and take a picture of our face, and you'll know exactly who to go to when you need some help. That all to say is we are now going to the Q&A portion. So Melissa, if I can ask that you go through the list of questions, and then panelists, just let us know which one is going to take that.
So the first question, it is a little specific to the computer programmer question regarding employment opportunities. So I'm wondering who might be able to answer that one, or at least where we could send them.
Employment can go to Martha, and then she can redirect if possible.
Okay.
And or Janice too, if it's applying.
Okay, so our employment center can help you look for employment in that field, as well as your coordinator will be definitely hooked into that field in the Ottawa community. The employment center will look at your resume, your cover letter, do some practice interviewing, and they will be well aware of the unique needs of that particular field and what you need to do to prepare for an interview in that field.
Go ahead, Janice.
Computer programmer does have co-op as an option. So it's something that you would sign up for. They do notify you that it's time to sign up for it via email, usually about 8 months to a year before you would actually go for your co-op. And so those are paid opportunities, and it's not a placement. You do compete for the jobs, but we have a huge database of employers that hire tons of our students. And I do have to say that computer programmer, very sought after, for sure.
Thank you. So the next question came up during Renee and Tessa's presentation, and it's essentially, what is a general education elective?
I can jump in and answer that for you. So there are 2 types of courses as part of your program: core courses. So for example, if you were a student in one of our business programs, your core courses would tend to relate to business and aspects of business. Some programs have 1 or 2. If you were a student in business, your elective would be something like Greek mythology or something not related to business. You get a suite that you choose from that your program coordinator sends you, and you get to pick the type of elective that you would like to take.
Thank you. The next one I had sort of answered, but I think we can all agree. And the question was essentially, can they ask sillier questions related to courses because it helps to increase their knowledge when they're live in a class? And I answered absolutely, of course. I think every instructor is going to structure their course a little bit differently, but yes, ask all the questions. And so the next question is, my program has a co-op version, but I'm fully online living in Alberta. Does Algonquin have connections with workplaces outside of Ontario?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. So we do post for really anywhere in Canada. We do a lot of postings, obviously locally, because that's where most of our students are looking. That said, say for example, if there are some companies that you're really wanting to work for out there, and you're in touch with your student advisor within the co-op office, let them know, because we'll reach out to those companies and we'll try to sort of bridge that opportunity for you.
Okay, and Janice, as well for you, do you know if the Sport Business Management program has a co-op option?
It doesn't, and so I do happen to know that what they usually do is somewhat of I'm not sure if it's an actual field placement, but I think so. I don't know if anyone has information on that. I don't want to tell you for sure that they do. It isn't a co-op though, I know that.
They do have where they invite employers in to meet the students for their work integrated learning terms. So there is like a formal process to get either paid employment or an internship in that program.
And again, related, the question is more, it's to ask business courses, but I'm assuming there are some business programs that have co-op, right?
There are, yes, there are 3. So Bachelor of Commerce, Supply Chain is also a co-op, and International Business currently, but we're actually adding more on coming this coming winter, so winter 21. Business marketing, I believe, and office admin as well. And there are always more that are coming on.
Okay. And the next question is software and hardware both included in the networking technician? And tell me which have a higher demand, computer programmer or computer technician? I'm not sure who could answer that.
That may have to go to the program coordinator. If they want to, email. Too specific, but they'll be able to help you for sure with that type of question.
All right. So far, that's all the questions right now. There haven't been any more in the chat yet, but if anyone has any more questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A and we will be more than happy to answer them.
And maybe while we're just waiting for the Q&A, Tony, I see that you have joined us. And maybe just a quick little insight from your perspective, any tips that you could offer the new learner or things that you've seen that were helpful?
Thanks, Sophia. Yeah, I think for the start, because remote learning is very different, it's just being organized and finding a good study space for yourself just to make sure that you can focus on your schoolwork. I think that'll be good for, week 1, try to get that settled so you can be organized by this weekend and get ready for your schoolwork and to kind of hit it hard next week.
We actually did a workshop prior to this one on how to create a successful workspace. So one of the tips was don't work from your bed. You'll take a nap rather than do some homework, which is really cool. So you can check that out online as well. They have some really cool tips with that. Well, I think that's it for Q&A. We can stay on for a couple more minutes if someone's shy or if something comes to them. But thank you again very much, one, to our panel members to come and provide your expertise within your areas, and to know that they are here for you. So just because this virtual meeting is over doesn't mean you'll never see us again. We're not breaking up. This is just the beginning of a long relationship. And if you have any, there's different workshops happening throughout the day. And if you've missed any of them, you can find them online at algonquincollege.com/orientation. And if you didn't miss, or if you didn't get that, just literally put in orientation into the Algonquin College search, and you will find all the information from today. All the videos will be posted, as well as the resources. So thank you again very much.
Oh,
and
there is one more question that just came up. So I just wanted to, they did say, I'm a bit concerned that my timetable has no courses listed. They did email ask us at Algonquin, I'm assuming college.com, but they haven't gotten a response. So,
or the registrar's office for their timetable. Okay, great. Well, thanks again. And panelists, we'll just stay on for a couple more minutes. And thank you again, learners, and we'll see you soon.